let's dive into Dangerous Animals, a 2025 shark thriller that doesn't just snack on its characters, it chews on your nerves too. From the first dive to the final blood-soaked shot, this film is dripping with tension, brutal kills, and that gnawing sense of dread that something truly monstrous is lurking out of sight. So buckle up, because we're about to break down every savage twist and ask the question, how disturbing is Dangerous Animals? Hey, welcome back to another episode of How Disturbing. I'm your host, Billy Bogues, and today we're looking at 2025 shark thriller, Dangerous Animals. Now, the nature of this channel is that we do review disturbing films and scenes, so viewer discretion should definitely be advised. This is also your spoiler warning. Let's hit the ocean. The film opens up and we're introduced to our antagonist, Tucker. He runs a shark diving experience on the Gold Coast in Australia.
Ah, who do we have here then?
And he's meeting his latest customers. This is Heather, and this guy doesn't fucking matter. They gear up and before you know it, they're under the water marveling at the ocean's greatest predators. But as they're exiting the water, well, this happens.
Say that again.
Yeah, something to tell the grandkiddies one day.
Dude, so awesome. Oh man, thanks so much for fitting us in.
Okie dokie, now that that's over, let's meet Zephyr. She's an American tourist who's come to Australia on a surfing holiday. And Zephyr has bumped into Moses. His car is broken down and he needs a ride.
I just need to get to my car. I've walked like 10 blocks and I can't find any. Look, I'm not a serial killer, okay? Promise.
The reluctant Zephyr drives him to his car and gives him a jump start.
Zephyr.
Nice to meet you, Zephyr.
No, go start your car.
Yes, ma'am.
She finally comes round to accept that he's not a complete jerk and follows this up by banging his brains out. But in the morning when Moses brings her breakfast, well, Zephyr is already gone. And of course, she's off to catch some early morning waves. Unfortunately for her though, she runs into Tucker. But he's leaving, so she should be all good. Psych! Moses arrives at the parking lot and discovers Zephyr's van. But Zephyr is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, she's waking up to discover that she's being held captive with Heather, who we met earlier.
Hi. What is this? Where are we? On his boat.
Moses tries to make a police report, but that's really hard when you don't even know somebody's full name.
What was the name?
Zephyr.
Last name? You don't know her last name.
Back in the boat, and Zephyr is trying to undo her handcuffs with the underwire from Heather's bra.
Is that an underwire?
Yeah, it's cutting the shit out.
Give it to me.
Wait, is this the...
Yes, the fucking
Oh.
lock. Quick.
Sorry, I'm trying.
But Tucker interrupts this to drop off some food and water.
Evening, ladies. Trust you've had a chance to get acquainted. Now you must be starving. Oh, not a Vegemite fan.
After the girls consume the water, it's not too long before Heather passes out, with Zephyr right behind her. When she wakes, Zephyr is chained to a chair on the bow of the boat. Heather wakes up, and Tucker steals a lock of her hair.
Heather. Hey. There you are.
That's fucking creepy. To their horror, Heather is then lifted up by the cage crane and dangled over the water as Zephyr is forced to watch. She's finally lowered into the water, and it's not long before the sharks tear all of her limbs off. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Tucker is filming the whole thing on a VCR. And Heather, well... yeah, she's boop dead.
Boop. Dead.
We then see Tucker attach Heather's lock of hair onto her video cassette tape. And it's definitely not the first time that Tucker has done this. Meanwhile, Zephyr has pulled the handle off a bucket and has managed to forge herself a weapon. And when Tucker returns to drug her, well... unfortunately, Tucker comes to, and a chase quickly ensues. With very few options left, Zephyr decides to swim for it. But unfortunately for her, Tucker has a big pole. Oh, wait, what? Steady, steady on. Back on land, Moses uses security footage to discover Tucker's branded pickup was the only other car to pass Zephyr's van. He sneaks his way onto Tucker's boat, and it appears as though nobody's home. When he hears Zephyr, Moses makes a mad dash to find her. And find her he does. But as Moses rushes out for help, the fight escalates, and it even looks like Moses might win. But just as Moses can smell victory, this random rocks up. But when the random man discovers a captive, well, he's going to have to go too.
Moses!
Hello? Jesus, what? Man, have you got a Sheila down here or nothing?
Well, shit.
Boop. Dead.
Now, obviously Tucker is pissed, and it's time to get rid of Moses. Apparently movie sharks are exactly the same as movie T-Rexes because it seems as though if you don't move, they can't see you. And not moving is exactly what Moses does. Tucker, however, has a solution to this problem.
That ought to ring the dinner bell.
Fortunately, things come to a quick halt when a rescue helicopter is seen flying over the boat.
Brief intermission, ladies and gentlemen.
Unfortunately though, they're back in the boat's dungeon, and Moses, well, he looks like he's bleeding out. Zephyr tries her hardest to force her hand through the handcuff. First she breaks her thumb, but that doesn't work, so she resorts to biting her finger off instead. When Tucker returns, well, surprise motherfucker! He manages to escape, and yet another chase around begins. Zephyr attempts to swim to shore, but Tucker dons a lifeboat and heads on after her. Tragically, just as Zephyr reaches the sand, Tucker catches up to her, and, well, back they go. Okie dokie, it looks like the roles are reversed now. Zephyr is getting dipped, and Moses is the audience. Tucker loses a gaff in the water, and Zephyr uses the gaff to escape. She then encounters a ridiculously massive large shark, which, for reasons that make zero sense, decides not to eat her. She sneaks back onto the boat and shoots Tucker with a spear gun. And her old friend and comically large shark, well, it eats the fuck out of him. Boop, dead.
Boop, dead.
And everyone lived happily ever after. The end. Dangerous Animals swam onto screens in 2025 with an MA15+ rating in Australia. And when I first saw the trailer to this movie, I was genuinely hyped. It looked like someone had finally given the killer shark genre a much needed shot of adrenaline. And for the most part, I've got to say, it was a lot more fun than it was bleak. And I'm a fan of bleak. That said, Dangerous Animals is one of those films that you really want to love, but it keeps tripping over its own flippers. Well, it was a little too Saturday morning cartoons for a shark movie that was filled with this much blood. And the writing? About as watertight as a pool noodle. I mean, she's leaking blood like a busted tap while doing a casual freestyle, and the sharks just politely let her go? Like, what the fuck, man? And don't even get me started on the creature design. That giant shark at the end is less of shark and more budget megalodon cosplay. Still, credit where credit's due. The pacing's snappy, the performances are solid, and visually, it totally slaps. But no matter how slick it looks or how loud it growls, Dangerous Creatures is ultimately sunk by a script that forgets to connect the dots. It teases brutality, but Dangerous Animals, well, it just never quite bites. Alright, there's a spreadsheet behind me, so it's time to find out where Dangerous Animals sits amongst its brethren of disturbing films. Is it a really great film? Is it a really disturbing film? Let's find out the average in between. So first of all, I'm going to score Dangerous Creatures for just how good I thought it was as a movie on its own. And I'm going to award Dangerous Creatures a 54.1. It wasn't bad, but definitely wasn't great. Now, my opinion differs a lot from the general audience sometimes, so to combat that, I'm going to go and grab your score for Dangerous Animals. And when I go to the most popular movie review pages, it looks like you guys think that Dangerous Animals is worth a 74.2. Yeah, okay, pretty different. So now we're going to average together my rating with your rating to get a combined film rating of 64.2 for Dangerous Animals. But the question we've been asking is, how disturbing is this film? Well, I'll tell ya, I'm going to rate Dangerous Animals a disturbing score of 32.8. Yeah, and if that seems particularly low, the movies on the top of this list probably aren't for you. So finally, we're going to bang together the disturbing rating with our combined film rating to give Dangerous Animals an ultimate disturbing rating of 48.5. Cool. Alright, let's bring in the grand spreadsheet here. And then I think we're going to have to scroll to the bottom because a score of 48.5 leaves Dangerous Animals at rank number 37. We think it's got a slightly better average than Civil War, but a slightly worse average than Life. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of How Disturbing. I'm your host, Billy Bogues, and please, if you're not an asshole, go and give me a like and subscribe. You're not an asshole? You're an asshole? No. And finally, if you have a product or a service that you want sold or advertised for free, I will do that. I won't charge you anything, so just get in touch with me. And having said that, I'm Billy Bogues. I think I'll glitch out of here.